So apparently dollar stores are struggling. I'm not really surprised, but I'm curious to know more.
There are over 36,000 dollar stores across the US. That's more than one store for every 10,000 people. These companies have long been Wall Street darlings.
During the Great Recession in 2000.
Anybody that's called a Wall Street darling is probably has some way that they're getting massive returns for shareholders. So, yeah.
2009, 2010, both Dollar General and Dollar Tree were two of the best performing stocks in the S&P 500 in those 2 years.
The share price for Dollar Tree and Dollar General, the two biggest players in the space, far outpaced the S&P 500, jumping over 1,500% between 2008 and 2022.
That's huge.
But over the past 2 years, the stocks of both companies have plummeted. And the outlook, at least in the near term, isn't showing promising signs of recovery.
Yeah, whenever you have that massive of returns, it's no wonder that it's suddenly going to dip, because it can't stay that way forever unless you start doing some really shady stuff.
We had this pretty good growth over a period of decades, but in the last decade, we've added about 50% more stores, and that's brought a number of challenges.
Dollar General and Dollar Tree have both cut guidance recently, which set off alarm bells for investors.
So what's happened to dollar stores?
So they grew way too fast, stopped overlooking all their stuff, and then everything started to suffer. It's very common.
And what do these companies need to do to get back on track? Dollar General, Dollar Tree, and Family Dollar are the three largest brands in the space. Dollar Tree owns both Family Dollar and its namesake brand. In fiscal 2023, the two companies brought in nearly $70 billion in combined revenue. All three brands have thousands of stores across the country, but target very different areas and demographics. Dollar Tree sells a lot of seasonal and discretionary items, think wrapping paper and toys, typically in suburban strip malls. The Family Dollar chain, which the company acquired in 2015 for $9 billion, is generally found in more urban areas. Meanwhile, Dollar General focuses on a primarily rural customer base.
Yeah, when I was in college in middle of Iowa, we would go to Dollar General and get like really cheap food to try and get by. Probably wasn't the best for us, but it did the trick. But now I more recently went to a dollar store to pick up a whole bunch of like little stuff for a holiday party for kids, and I couldn't find next to as much stuff as I remember used to being able to find when I was a kid.
The roots of dollar stores were in rural America, outer suburbs of metro markets. It was sort of the places where there wasn't sort of a big established value retail presence.
A key thing to understand about dollar stores is that their main goal is to be an affordable place to shop with whatever set budget you have, not necessarily the best value for your money. For example, this box of 15 dryer sheets is $1.25. It's a better quote-unquote deal to go up the road to Target and get a box of 240 of them for $10. But if $10 is your entire budget for the trip to the store, it makes more sense to go to the dollar store.
One of those situations where being poor is keeping you poor because it's costing more to be poor.
Outside, these types of stores may not look so bad. From 2019 to 2023, sales have increased by about 30% for Dollar Tree and about 40% for Dollar General. In the same time period, these companies have added over 5,000 stores. New stores will naturally increase revenues, but that can mask slow sales growth at existing locations.
The companies can say, well, we're still growing revenues nicely. Both companies are saying that they're taking market share. And these are all true statements, but when you really drill down to where you're taking share, like at a per store basis, and that's where you would suggest that perhaps they aren't, that they're losing some share.
High inflationary times disproportionately affect lower income consumers. Dollar General's core customer base,
and everything has been skyrocketing in price. So yeah, people are going to go more to dollar stores. It just makes sense.
Which is households earning less than $35,000 per year, contribute to about 60% of its overall sales.
We're in a strange time where the jobs market is still relatively strong, and that means middle and upper income households don't feel that same level of pressure to turn to a different store or to shop dramatically different than their everyday habits. At the same time, the core customer, those lower income customers that rely on dollar stores, are getting even more selective and are tending to buy needs versus wants. Things like food that just tend to be lower margin.
Lower margin means they are less profitable, but food and household items have become increasingly important to the dollar store customer. In its 2024 second quarter earnings call, Dollar General said it's decreased its non-consumable inventory by 13% versus last year. The effect of inflation is also apparent at Dollar Tree stores whose long differentiated strategy was a store-wide $1 price point. In 2021, that changed.
Yeah, you can't sell anything for $1 anymore unless you're selling like a single napkin. Like nothing can cost that much forever. And it was only a matter of time before dollar stores stopped being just $1.
Even if you just take a step back and you think about sort of the magic around a retail box where everything is $1, and if you have 8 items in your basket, it's going to cost you $8. And now you move to $1.25. It reduces some of that magic overall. And it sounds silly, but it confuses the shopping experience, makes it a little more complex.
I mean, that doesn't seem like a big deal, but that is a 25% increase in cost, which is huge for a lot of people.
Some of the dollar store's lackluster financial results can be pointed to the conditions of its physical stores.
It's just a less desirable place to shop. I mean, the whole idea is the dollar stores are convenient, but if you go there and there's only one cash register open and there's 8 people in line, and it takes 10 to 15 minutes to check out, that you're losing your convenience angle. Or sometimes there's boxes in the aisles you can't even get down the aisle because it's blocked.
So my stock room is literally overflowed and look like this.
So tell me, does your Dollar General look like this?
Yeah, I was seeing something on somebody was doing a report about these dollar stores and that, like, they're turning into chaos and people are unable to just completely run the stores and they're just completely falling apart at this point.
Customers notice when a company is not minding the store. They see that there are boxes that are cluttering aisles. They notice that the item they want is out of stock, and so they may decide to go elsewhere. And Dollar Tree and Dollar General have been having execution problems that have contributed to a tougher economic backdrop.
Inventory challenges were especially apparent during the pandemic. These smaller-sized, more affordable products normally found at dollar stores were deprioritized by manufacturers.
Customers that were then going into the stores, even if they found a store that was operationally okay, the assortment was now very different and didn't have some of the items that were the reason that they went to the discount channel in the first place.
Understaffing also became more apparent. The dollar store playbook has historically operated on a lean labor model. That has long created problems for both companies. But during the pandemic, those issues were exacerbated.
When COVID hit and the government was paying out subsidies, you had the situation where lots of employees just opted out, didn't go to work, they didn't eat. And so then you got into this situation where, the stores started to fall over.
Dollar General and Dollar Tree have also faced numerous worker safety.
49 people have been killed at Dollar General stores since 2014. Dollar Tree and Family Dollar agreed to take steps to improve worker safety for a reason. Yeah, the worse you let a store get, the worse the people that come to those stores are going to become, I feel like.
Violations in their stores over the past decade. In the beginning of 2024, Family Dollar was fined over $41 million for rodent-infested warehouses. Family Dollar has been a burden for the Dollar Tree brand ever since its acquisition back in 2015.
Was really supposed to be sort of the Dollar General fighter. The challenge was that Family Dollar had always been the weakest of the dollar stores. It was never as profitable. It never grew as much. And because the management of Family Dollar knew that it was going to be sold, they stopped investing in lots of things.
So even today, I mean, you're seeing, outdated technology systems, outdated distribution centers, DCs that don't have air conditioning, HVAC systems at stores that are falling apart. So these are long legacy issues that.
Yeah, and if you go to places like in Texas or really hot areas of the South where some of these stores are going to be really prevalent, getting some relief from the heat and being in a place with air conditioning when these are targeting lower income families that may or may not have air conditioning in the first place, that can really be a game changer as well. Because it's like, all right, they might suck up the extra price tag just to be able to beat the heat a little bit extra.
Dollar Tree just didn't make the proper investments, and despite now, in their 9th year of ownership.
Family Dollar is the only one of the three brands that has seen a decline in foot traffic from 2019 to 2024. And now Dollar Tree wants to get rid of it. But aside from the internal struggles that these companies are grappling with, Walmart has also become a major problem for them.
When you go back to the Great Recession and the dollar stores were doing well, Walmart was not putting up strong same-store sales growth. I think that's where there was trading away from Walmart and moving more to the dollar stores. The opposite seems to be happening today, where Walmart is putting up terrific same-store sales growth. They're gaining share of that lower middle income wallet, and they're bringing in newer middle and upper income consumers.
Walmart is keenly aware of how good these dollar stores have been for a long time. And
Big surprise, not really, that Walmart would take over. Because, I mean, you have the dollar store prices starting to increase. Walmart is able to stay pretty low because they screw over most of their employees by paying them so low that they wind up forcing. They have like the largest chunk of people that are on food stamps and need welfare and additional assistance because they don't pay their people enough. So yeah, they're going to start closing that gap, and you can get way more stuff and probably get that slightly better price per unit at Walmart that you'd be able to, than what you'd be able to get at a dollar store.
And I've learned a lot from them as well.
90% of Americans live within 10 miles of a Walmart store. To put the impact of Walmart into context, the retail giant increased its U.S. sales by about $4.5 billion in its most recent quarter. That's about 4% higher than the year prior. It's also about half the amount of Dollar General's total sales last quarter, and about 60% of Dollar Tree's total sales. A big part of the retail giant's recent success is due to its investment in e-commerce.
A lot of legacy brick and mortar companies like a Walmart, Home Depot, Best.
Yeah, and that tech is not very expensive for a company as big as Walmart, whereas improving their tech for some place like Dollar General, they don't have the ability to do that. They don't have the extra bandwidth.
Best Buy, I like to say they made about 5 years of e-com and digital investments in about 12 to 18 months during COVID. So the digital capabilities of a lot of companies have also gotten a lot better in recent years.
Dollar stores, because of the investments you have to make to pull off a larger online business, have not been able to move as quickly in those ways.
Dollar General says that the middle and upper income consumers have become more engaged in e-commerce, and those customers may not be trading down to dollar stores like they used to. Beyond e-commerce, another consideration is Dollar Store's heavy investment in its grocery offering. At the same time, discount grocery companies like the European chain Aldi are growing rapidly in the US. Its location count has increased by about
Yeah, Aldi is always going to be superior to a dollar store, but also you have to think about like pure convenience level. If there's somebody that's busting their butt to try and survive and they don't have a lot of extra time, the fact that some place has like remote pickup stuff is going to be a life changer. Like I regularly, whenever I need something from like Target, I can do a drive up and pick up from Target. That's something I don't have the ability to do at a dollar store, but it saves me a boatload of time from having to go in the first place. Even if certain people in your life wind up loving Target to an extent and they're like, I really want to go in, but that's a whole different issue.
about 1,000 stores over the past decade.
I think Aldi and Lidl are a lot more important than the financial media tends to think they are, because they're privately owned and they're small stores and they don't have the profile that Walmart or Amazon has. But there are thousands of Aldis, and those are almost always in the same markets that the dollar stores are.
Even as inflation normalizes, dollar stores are not well positioned to benefit.
We have lower interest rates and the consumer is better next year. The consumers will be buying more discretionary type of goods. So maybe the fundamentals could get a little bit better for the dollar stores with consumer spending, but you'll see other retailers outperform because they're more exposed to the discretionary merchandise.
Look at the merchandise breakdown for the three major dollar store brands. Dollar General and Family Dollar are both about 80% consumable items. Dollar Tree has far more discretionary products. President-elect Donald Trump ran his campaign pushing for higher tariffs on goods imported from China. That will affect Dollar Tree.
I actually have a handful of friends that have been buying stuff up as quickly as possible because they're worried that the tariffs are going to hike up prices of things that they were planning to buy and were waiting for sales. But now they're like, we got to get it now. Like, somebody that got a new computer monitor and basically anything that you would get from China, which is like 90% of stuff.
Tree especially, as the chain imports over 40% of its merchandise, mostly from China. That's much higher than its other brand, Family Dollar, and its competitor, Dollar General. Plus, its fixed price $1.25 model means margins would be squeezed even tighter. The chain is focused on introducing more multi-priced items to increase spending at its stores.
That core Dollar Tree model has a really nice niche. Everything's $1.25, so you get smaller pack items, you get special deals from suppliers. You start selling branded items at $2, $3, $4. Those are the same items that are at grocery stores or at Walmart, and so maybe a sales lift, but also maybe longer term comp.
Yeah, and they're probably offering that like smaller package of the items, whereas if you go to Walmart, you're paying 40 cents more and you're getting way more for your buck.
The minimum salary threshold to qualify for overtime pay is set to increase on January 1st, 2025.
The dollar stores, store managers, small box, oftentimes in rural, lower cost of living locations, oftentimes make less than $59,000 on a salary basis. So if this rule change goes through, it would cause expense pressure on the dollar store for both banners.
Another consideration for future success is leadership. Dollar General's CEO is on his second stint running the company. Dollar Tree CEO announced he was stepping down at the start of November 2024. A Dollar Tree spokesperson told CNBC Dollar Tree and Family Dollar play a vital role in providing high-quality, low-priced items that help our shoppers do more for less. With new leadership, we are continuing on our journey to transform the business and position ourselves as a leader in the workplace and associate safety through meaningful investments. Dollar General declined CNBC's request for an interview or comment. With succession planning and economic uncertainty a question mark for both companies, it's increasingly clear that getting the dollar store businesses back on track is going to require a multifaceted approach.
Dollar stores are contending with a mix of self-inflicted problems and also problems that they're contending with because the macroeconomic environment is just a lot tougher. People who shop at dollar stores tend to have less income, and so they are going to feel every push and pull of the economy. But at the same time, these retailers have to get their stores back in line, and to draw back shoppers and build more loyalty, they need to mind the store.
Yeah, so I mean, that makes sense as to why they're losing so much, because it's not like if you start hiking up prices, you start getting into the realm of what Walmart can offer, and Walmart can offer more stuff at their stores. So if you're like, well, I might as well just go to Walmart, not to mention these stores are going to be better maintained. They're not going to be completely falling apart, filled with boxes, all that stuff. I've never felt good going into a dollar store. It's usually just either by necessity, like when I was a broke college student, or because I'm like picking up something small for like goodie bags for kids or something because I have to go to like a kids party. It's hard. They would have to drastically overhaul their model, and I don't think that they're prepared to do that. I wouldn't be surprised if dollar stores in general start fading out, and you might see it start to slim down to just like they're going to get more limited. Hopefully they'll stop oversaturating their own market by opening up tons of stores and screwing themselves over like they already did. But they're going to have to make some drastic changes.